Wow, already got an achievement. Nice.
That was random.
All I did was start the freaking game. So, I'm Justin, this is Robyn, and,
Yo.
thank you. And we are doing Dead Island this time.
I want to look at the achievement I just got.
So, Dead Island, I have an extreme love-hate relationship with. Ah, clever. Clever. The concept is really, really nice, and to start it off, it was so wonderful and beautiful, and it was really fun.
So fun.
And I thought they did the zombies very well. But it really is marred, and this is not news. This is a little different.
The difficulty level was perfect, I would like to point out. It was gorgeous.
It was marred by quite a few technical issues.
And the town.
And the town.
The moment you go to the town...
So let's start at the beginning. Anybody who hasn't played Dead Island, I don't know if there's a demo. I haven't actually looked. I recommend getting it. There's a lot of stuff that's done very well. Okay? But there's a lot of flaws. A lot of glitches, a lot of zombies coming out of nowhere, zombies disappearing, really weird spikes in the difficulty curve, happening quite a bit. Your kick, I'm sure everyone has already talked about this. Do I even need to go into the kick? Give us the kick again if you would. The kick is basically your ultimate... Oh, the kick uses stamina now.
It always did.
No, it
You're right,
didn't.
it didn't.
So they patched that.
Why would they patch the one thing that made the town... Oh my
usable.
god.
So here's the thing about Dead Island, okay? We're gonna discuss a couple things. Number one, the weapons. Obviously, ammunition for projectile weapons is scarce. You can make Molotov cocktails and whatnot, but that's kind of difficult too. Your main weapons are going to be melee objects that you find, right? Planks with nails in it, baseball bats, iron pipes, golf clubs, etc., etc. Tons of stuff. These items have degradation, which, as we've learned, and I've actually tried to defend in the past and has failed miserably, is shit. Right?
Oh, it's horrible.
Weapon degradation. And in this game, it's particularly bad because your weapons really degrade fucking fast. And I mean fast. So you're always carrying, like, 30 goddamn machetes on you just because.
May I interject for a moment?
Please.
I just want to have... I have a very long... The whole repair, degradation, durability rant in games. I just want to put it out there. If anybody who has any control over any of these things ever sees this, don't do it. It's tedious and unnecessary. All it does... What are video games about? They're about having fun in one way or another. Sometimes more realistic than others? Yes. But what does durability do, especially to a game like this that involves zombies? Oh my god, I'm out of practice. Out of practice! It takes away from the fun, and it's unnecessary. It's a level of tedium you are adding to the game.
I agree.
And what for?
I didn't used to agree. I used to not mind it. But I agree with you. But I think this is a complaint that's pretty common, and if anybody's going to make a game with weapon degradation, they're going to make it. Like, their minds are set on it, because they've heard tons of people rant, you, me, people who, quite frankly, are listened to a lot more than you and I are, have talked about it. There are some good things with the weapons in this game. For example, the upgrade system is a lot of fun.
Just make them... If it's a thing about balance, just add... Make the weapons weaker, or make them harder to find.
Yeah.
And if it's about a money sink, which apparently you need to have a gold gill money sink in games for the player, then make things more expensive to balance it out. There are much better ways of doing it without making a level of tedium for the players. And also, I'm sitting here kicking something to save durability on my weapon.
Yeah, that is never right.
When look how much more awesome it is to just slice things.
But you're going to lose the weapon faster if you do that. Not to mention the fact that now with the kick...
without defense.
Yeah, without defense. And now that the kick actually loses your stamina, just like... Strike with your weapon for me? See, weapons don't use your stamina now. So, that's what they...
But
Wait, hold on.
weapons don't stagger them.
No, it's very true.
But look at how much
Actually, it
awesome
looked
that
like your
is.
weapon did use stamina for a second.
It probably did.
Okay, it looks like it's using less stamina, which is an improvement. But anyway...
Still using them up as much durability.
Yeah, folks... Now, hold on a second. Press start. I don't see a weapon durability meter. Has that been removed? Please tell me it's been removed.
What? No, it's there. It's there.
Oh, use stamina. Wait, but press start? Go and look at your weapon for me? I would like to, for some reason, why does it look like...
No, it's there.
Oh, you're right, it is still there.
And it used up a big chunk of it to kill 3 creeping zombies.
Yeah, so still just a shit. Right. Anyway, with that out of the way for now, I'm sure that will come up later on. Important notes about this game. So, there have been a lot of problems. Zombies glitching, which I've talked about. Zombies appearing out of nowhere. And I mean literally appearing out of nowhere. Like, I'd be in the middle of an empty street, right, or an empty beach, turning around and see nothing.
Where did you come from?
And then all of a sudden zombies show up.
For the love of crumb cakes!
And it adds a certain amount of frustration. Even Robyn's getting frustrated. Honestly, I'm the first one to get frustrated with this kind of stuff.
Oh, I stopped playing after hitting the town.
Yeah.
I actually refuse to play it now.
The town will be a second sticking point. I guess let's try and keep these on topic, because there's a few of these.
Sorry.
So at the very start of the game, you are... And you actually, you know what? Do you want to go there? It might be just better for this, for the purposes of this demo, to go there first. Do you think the town? Fast travel, and then we'll go back to... Or the
The
beach?
resort? Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
So much fun, the resort.
when you first start up the game and you're in this resort, it is just utterly fantastic. It's very beautiful, it's very pristine, but there's also a great sense of like disarray, death, tragedy, fear.
And the zombies do act like they should.
Yeah.
If you're up against 1 or 2, you're okay, but if there's a lot of them, you can still get overwhelmed.
Yep. So I don't know. My guess is that this is where the most time was spent, because this was sort of the selling point of the game, and it shows.
It's well balanced.
It was beautiful. The resort is the place to be. It is fun to play in here. Okay? Still a challenge, but it's fun. At some point, you end up going to the city, to a city known as Moresby, which apparently was a shithole before the zombie outbreak. And at that point, the difficulty curve just absolutely fucking spikes.
I'm just gonna go for a walk,
Yeah, go for it.
since I have no quests.
It just gets absolutely absurd. Hot chick, that's a different poster than it used to be, I think. Maybe I'm wrong. I never really looked at the posters. But the difficulty curve gets incredible. You're more constantly than not surrounded by 5 or 6 zombies, or at least getting 3 of them in groups. And if you're getting 3 of them, it's the fast-moving ones. It's a new level. I understand it gets harder, but it spikes way too much. Aside from the fact that they now pack on groups of 5 or 6 zombies, sometimes all of them being fast-moving zombies that are hard to get rid of, they also have new zombies that just are in straitjackets and ram the hell out of you, and are very, very hard to kill.
And will pop up with those groups.
So, again, challenge is fine. There's nothing wrong with it. But when the curve just takes a random fucking soaring leap, there's a bit of a problem, especially when it starts to frustrate the player. Okay? That's a huge problem I have with this game. That is a big issue. Call me whiny, that's fine, but it detracts from the fun. And it made me put it down and stop playing. Well, okay, it helped contribute.
Look how pretty it is.
It's beautiful. There's a third point to this city, and actually to this game itself that I have an issue with.
Glitches?
The glitches with not just the zombies, but the quests and the map is a huge problem. Let me tell you why I stopped playing this game aside from the city. There was one specific crazy-ass event that just threw me over the brink. Escort quests are in this game. And escort quests are a huge bitch in this game. They're actually, in my opinion, not worth doing.
Whoa!
There you go. So I was in the middle of this one quest. Not an escort quest. I think I was looking for speakers.
Okay, Robyn's just sucking right now.
Okay. I was looking for speakers. Okay, because we're trying to, in the city of Moresby, the other survivors are trying to tell anyone who's alive, hey, come to the church, right? Because we're holed up there. So I'm looking around trying to repair speakers so that the church can do its good deed. And the indicator for my next quest brings me to an area. Okay, brings me to an area of the city. I'm going down alleyways. I'm doing okay against the zombies. I've managed to buff up my weapons somewhat. I get to one spot, an alleyway, and the indicator for the quest just disappears. I leave the alleyway, and the quest indicator reappears. It's telling me to go to the exact same place I just left. Okay, so I'm going back in, back out, just trying to find where I'm supposed to be. Finally, I notice on my minimap there's actually a little quest icon. Like, as in a go here, this is your next step icon. Turns out, that's actually the icon for starting an escort quest. Not the same as your exclamation mark even. So a little bit different. Okay, a little bit different than the normal indicator. I went inside a building and it started an escort quest. And now I cannot quit this quest. You're not able to leave it. Unfortunately, you're stuck. And I don't know if I didn't have a second save or anything that I could go back to. So unless I can beat this quest, which is really ridiculous at this point, for me, then I'm starting the game over again. And the quest is just like you'd expect from any standard escort quest done shittily. Your escortees, the NPCs are fucking bricks. They will run headlong to zombies with no thought for themselves. But if they die, it's game over for you. It's not even that you fail the quest, which I would take. I would just let the fucker die and happily miss out on the XP and any bonus. No. If this NPC dies, your game, your survival is over, according to Dead Island. And you are fucked. You've got to complete this quest. Guess where it starts you off? The very beginning of that escort quest. It's not even like you can simply choose to come back to it later, maybe when you have some more buffs, skills, weapons, what have you. I am at a point where I must finish this escort quest or start the game over, and I am something like 6 or 7 hours in. I've been playing it for quite a while. See, the idea of starting over is not enjoyable to me.
Especially going through town again.
Yeah, exactly. Going through the town, which I've already fought through so much of. Okay? And again, this may seem like I'm just whining, but the reality is, this is a $60 fucking game that we bought. And this is a huge problem. I remember there was an escort quest that you were playing. Luckily, it was one of the first ones.
Oh my god, dude.
Where you were rescuing a Russian guy. So Robyn... I'm getting loud, I'm sorry, you're right. This frustrates me because this game has so much potential to not be perfect, but to be a lot better than it was. And I don't know if it was the fault of the developer, publisher, time constraints. I don't want to just say that, the people who made this game are shit.
Wrong. That's a developer problem.
I don't know exactly what happened. I know that when you're making...
Unless the publisher went, it needs to be super hard.
Who knows, right? I don't want to lay fingers on any specific group because that's not fair.
I'll be happy to.
I understand. I don't think it's fair. Okay? I have no doubt that people worked hard on this, and you can see the care. Like, you look at this resort, you can see the care put into this game. You can tell that the people who made this had at least...
Sure, I mean zombies.
No idea. Hey, that's what you got to do, right? I mean, they had respect for the whole Romero series of films. They have respect for the zombie genre. They obviously cared a lot about what they did. But something along the way went very, very wrong. And it's sad to see that.
Durability was the beginning.
Durability was probably a bad start, wherever that came into play. There was an escort quest you were doing with this Russian guy. You were trying to escort this, what was apparently some sort of Russian commando, just to a safe house. And you did this a couple times. You get to a point where you're on a bit of on a small little crevice, like a hill essentially. The zombies can't get at you, you can look down at them. Like, they're within swinging range. But it's so much easier because there's about 10 of them just to drop a Molotov on them, which is what you did.
No, they were out of swinging range. That was my problem.
Oh, they were out of swinging range. Okay,
Either
they're very close.
I jumped down into a huge horde, or I threw a Molotov at them.
Gotcha. So Robyn, not being retarded, threw a Molotov at them. Okay? When she threw the Molotov at them, they lit on fire and they died, and she felt good about herself, which she should have, because she just solved a serious problem. Okay? The NPC took one look at the burning zombies and said, "This is perfectly fine," and jumped down into the fiery pit and killed himself, and the game was over. And she had to start the quest over again. So we tried it again, thinking that maybe it was just a one-time glitch. There's no way that they could be that fucking dumb. Turns out they are that fucking dumb. Lo and behold, Robyn had to jump down and slowly clear away a bunch of zombies. Again, not a major thing, but the player should be rewarded for coming up with clever solutions to dealing with bunches of zombies. In a game like this, more than anything.
I don't really call that clever, just...
No, well...
I have a big burning Molotov.
It's...
I actually thought
clever in the sense that it was the first escort quest and very early on in the game.
Well, you know what I thought? I thought that was the actual kind of like solution the developers probably thought of.
Oh, I see.
Showing you, hey, use Molotovs on groups.
Yeah, no, I guess not. That would have been nice, I suppose. So, these are all just gripes that we have with this game, and I guess the reason, me personally, I'm not sure about you, that I get so passionate about it, is I love zombies. And when we first popped, a friend of mine on Xbox Live said, "You need to try this game, it's great." And he was absolutely right. Like, when I popped this puppy in...
Oh, so much fun.
It's very rare for me. And now, I might have said this before, I'm not too sure. We have a fuck ton of games. We collect games. Robyn and I both love video games immensely. And it's not like I play them all. And I'm not particularly good at any specific type of video game. I'm pretty average. I'm pretty okay at a whole wide range of games because we play so much. But if you were to put me against players of Call of Duty or Warcraft, Dota, stuff like that, I would get tanked because the reality is I don't play one game. Whoa, I don't play one game long enough to really become an expert. I just love playing games. So when I see a game like this, right, a game that's at first glance well designed, a game that looks great, a game that at first glance plays really well, and a game that at the very start is incredibly fun, it saddens me to see this happen. I don't know if it was just simply time constraints or who knows what, but it really saddens me that players, and I know this happened to a lot of players, so the internet is just full of people who had a very similar experience to us. They were pulled in by a beautiful game, that amazing trailer, which was just CG, so we should have seen that coming, right? They dropped $60, $70, what have you, on this apparent masterpiece, start having a great time with it,
and then they got to the town.
Well, yeah, or then just the little things start picking away, and more frustration builds. Then all of a sudden, you've got the $60 disc, and you're wondering what happened. Now here we get to the fun part of the story, and I'm going to clarify all this right off the bat by saying most of what I'm going to talk about here is just personal conjecture. Okay, let's get that clear right off the bat. But I was so frustrated after my experience with that escort quest that I had to just keep restarting because I kept dying and couldn't do anything about, that I called Deep Silver. Now, Deep Silver I thought was the publisher of this game. Took me about an hour, but I ended up going on the internet and hunting down their phone, the phone number for their office. Okay? And I called. And I rang, and it was a number they didn't recognize from a weird area code, so... Or maybe just they were busy. Like, they didn't pick up for a bit, but I wasn't really expecting them to pick up. Like, I really didn't think this was going to get anywhere. Then some dude actually picked up. And he was a super nice guy. And I will not say his name. Okay, I probably even shouldn't have even said it was a dude, but I mean, I don't think they're ever going to see this. Okay, but the gentleman picked up, super nice guy, incredibly professional. And I said to him, hey, how's it going? My name's Justin. I'm calling from Toronto. I'm really sorry to bother you. I just had some questions about Dead Island. And I was much more polite than I'm about to say. What I basically asked him was, why is this game so shit? What I actually said was something like, hey, I really love the game, which is true, but I'm having a lot of problems with it. There's a lot of technical glitches, and there's a lot of stuff that seems to have been cut. A lot of corners and whatnot. And he asked me, and I guess this was a very smart question. He asked me, am I part of the media or am I just a consumer? So at the time, I told him, which is honestly true, I'm a consumer. I don't know if we can consider ourselves media yet. If you consider this media, then guy from Deep Silver, I very much apologize if you feel I misled you. I doubt you will, but regardless, throwing that out there. And he very nicely informed me that Deep Silver, even though their name is all over the fucking box, had nothing really to do with Dead Island. It was actually Square Enix, apparently.
Yeah, whose name is nowhere to be found.
Their name is pretty much nowhere to be found, except in maybe some very tiny fine print. Now, funny enough, we looked at the Square Enix website after this, and...
It's on there.
By Jove, yeah, it is there. So I don't know if they just simply acquired the property later, or if they had it at the start and didn't want their name on the box.
Which should be the first sign.
Which, I don't want to say one way or the other, but it was just really, really weird. Anyway, the fellow from Deep Silver basically told me that he apologized for the glitches I was having, which was very nice of him, and told me there was a patch coming out. Now, we haven't actually picked this up since that time, and that was a few months ago. So the patch did come out. What you're looking at is our first glance at the patched game. We've actually been saving this. And it looks like the patch didn't do so much to fix the technical issues. We do note that your stamina is now reduced by kicking, so that's actually not an improvement.
No.
I don't think. Maybe to some people it would be. I don't think it is. So I appreciate the patch. Didn't really do what was necessary.